In the dense, humid foothills of Indochina, where elevation climbs between 400 and 700 meters and the forest floor stays damp year-round, lives one of Southeast Asia's most secretive serpents, the Red River Krait, Bungarus slowinski. Discovered and formally described only in 2005, this elapid is still poorly studied. Its body alternates bold black and white rings, a warning pattern shared by its relatives in the genus Bungarus. Like other krites, it is almost certainly nocturnal, spending daylight hours coiled beneath leaf litter, rock crevices, or burrow systems, only emerging after dusk to hunt. Kraits as a genus are specialists in neurotoxic venom, among the most potent on Earth, capable of shutting down the respiratory muscles of prey within minutes by blocking acetylcholine receptors at the neuromuscular junction. This is not an animal built for a prolonged fight. It is built to strike once, retreat, and wait for paralysis to do the work. Now imagine, purely as a constructed nature scenario, since the two species never naturally overlap, a honey badger, Mellivora capensis, wandering into this same patch of forest. Few mammals on the planet are better engineered to challenge a venomous snake. Honey badgers derive up to a quarter of their diet from venomous prey, including cobras and adders, and they do this not out of desperation, but because almost nothing else competes for that food source. The secret lies in a single precise mutation in the badger's nicotinic acetylcholine receptor, the very molecular gate that neurotoxins like the kraits are designed to jam shut. Where most mammals have an exposed, uncharged amino acid at this binding site, honey badgers, along with hedgehogs and pigs through convergent evolution, carry a positively charged substitution that physically repels the toxin. The venom still enters the bloodstream. The badger still feels its effects, but the lock the toxin needs to turn no longer fits the key. This is the foundation of the encounter. A krait, ambushed or cornered in its burrow at dusk, reacts the only way its biology allows. It coils, hisses, and strikes fast and low, aiming for the legs or flank. The honey badger's response is the opposite of caution. Loose, thick skin, nearly impossible for a snake's narrow fangs to grip through to muscle, lets it absorb a glancing bite and keep moving. Powerful, disproportionate jaw muscles and a skull built to crush bone let it clamp down on the snake's neck and forebody and simply not let go. Field biologists who study honey badgers hunting cobras and puff adders describe the same repeated pattern. The badger takes a bite, sometimes collapses or appears stunned for a short period as if struck down, then, astonishingly, gets back up and finishes the job. This is not myth. It is documented physiology. Partial venom resistance buys time, not full immunity, and the badger's tenacity does the rest. The fight itself, if it played out, would be brutally short and asymmetric. The krait has one advantage: surprise. And once that is spent, it has no second weapon. It cannot outrun, outmuscle, or outarmor a 10 to 13 kilogram predator with reinforced skin and crushing jaws. The badger's strategy converges on the same target every time: the head and the upper third of the body, where a few decisive bites disable the snake's ability to strike back and end the threat permanently. This matches what's observed across honey badger snake encounters throughout Africa and South Asia. The kill is fast, repeated, and concentrated near the snake's anterior body, not a prolonged thrashing battle. What follows is the real payoff of the badger's evolutionary gamble. A krait carcass is, calorically, an excellent meal, dense in protein and fat relative to its size, with none of the competition that mammalian prey attracts. For an opportunistic, omnivorous forager living at the edge of survival in unpredictable habitats, that's a meaningful caloric windfall for relatively low metabolic cost, especially compared to chasing down quick-clawed, four-legged prey. The broader lesson sits at the intersection of toxinology and evolutionary biology. Venom and venom resistance are an arms race with no finish line. The The krait's neurotoxin is a masterwork of biochemical precision, evolved over millions of years to silence a nervous system efficiently. The badger's resistance is an equally elegant counter, a single rewritten molecular lock that turns a would-be death sentence into a meal ticket. Neither animal is stronger in any simple sense. Each is a finely tuned answer to a problem the other species poses. In nature, survival rarely belongs to the most aggressive creature. It belongs to the one whose biology has already solved tomorrow's fight before it happens.